I got into music really by my parents getting me into music. They were always playing music around the house, records and cassettes as they were then. And then they got me interested in playing in the school band, as with many kids. Picked up the guitar in about year 7 or when I was about 13, and that was a great way to write pop music because I could sing at the same time. I was playing in a band called Citizen. That was a great experience. We recorded an EP. Been playing in a band called Garage Hymnal, recording and playing live, and just playing with lots of different musicians and learning lots of different skills. But I've always had this desire to do a solo album, and I've had these songs growing for a few years, just waiting on the back burner for the right opportunity. You know, the stars aligned, as they say, and it just kind of, the time was right to do it. Don't let there be longer. Well, I think #1 influence in terms of pop music would have to be the Beatles. Probably the same for any musician. It's like a writer saying that they're influenced by the alphabet or something. People like Crowded House, who, you know, I got into once they'd broken up. Same with Midnight Oil, who are a big influence. I got into them once they'd broken up. I have a bit of a habit of doing that. Silverchair, quite an influence. Radiohead, singer-songwriters, Brooke Fraser, Missy Higgins, Bic Runga. Then my classical music background is a big influence on me. It's always sitting there beneath the surface. I think classical music taught me to push the boundaries a lot more than the pop music has. Making this album really started probably 2 years before I ended up making it. I had been speaking with Michael Carpenter about making an album for quite a while. I also started writing the songs about 2 years before I recorded the album. The songs just take a while to grow and to get to the point where they're ready to record. And then we recorded it relatively quickly. We went in and did it in 9 days. I worked with Michael Carpenter and Matt Fell to produce this album. Michael had been a friend of mine for a couple of years. We'd worked together on other projects, and he and Matt work a lot together, and I respected what Matt did with a project of his called Butterfly 9. And working with them was just fantastic. They're, you know, well-respected session players and do a lot of stuff, and so for me to go in and have them pretty much fill out the rest of the band in addition to what I contributed was just unreal. You know, I just loved it. Most of these songs really originated in my head while I travelled places. That's one of the main ways that I write songs, is when I'm walking somewhere and I'm inspired by something I see or something I'm really feeling in my heart at the time. Often a line will just drop into my head, and that's the genesis for the entire song. In the end, the album has a theme that kind of unifies all the songs, and that's the idea of sacrifice. They were all put together, and I started to see this theme cropping up in each of the songs. And so the 4-day weeks of April kind of encompasses those ideas of Easter and Anzac Day and the troops in Normandy, and to me it seemed a fitting title for the whole album. I've Had It All is a song that's really special to me. Really simple production, just me and the piano, and then some nice guitar work from Michael Carpenter. It's just honesty. It was a really quick write, and it just kind of fell out. Another song that's special is One Day, the title track of my EP. I guess it's a song ultimately about hope. It's also musically one of the songs I'm most proud of. To me, there's a lot of beautiful stuff going on in there. Finally, The Indian Ocean to me is a really special track. It's just, at its core, a love song. Really simple, really straightforward. There's a real warmth in the production, some nice Wurlitzer, beautiful harmonies from my brother James and Matt Fell. I've had the privilege of doing some great support slots for great artists, and I had a fantastic launch. Played to a full house, and what was fantastic about it was just getting the songs out there. They've been living in my head for 2 years, but to have the band realise the songs that are on the disc and to have people in the room really respond to the songs was just a beautiful thing. I really hope to keep going and going with gigging. It's the most enjoyable thing about doing music. If you can't create a vibe in the room and have people enjoying your music in a live context, to me there's not much point. Music isn't really an option. It's kind of something that you have to do. It's in your soul and it's in your blood, and unless you're letting that come out, then you're not really being yourself. And so for me, that's what keeps driving me, and I'm just looking forward to getting it out there and hopefully having people enjoy it. As the check
checklist for my life grows along, wants and dreams and schemes, so rarely stop to turn around and look from